doing? We are going to ruffle some feathers today. Come on in. Every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, we are here live, uncovering the myths and misinformation that have been given to us by our most trusted resources. Wow, I've never said it that way before, but I really do help women be able to turn back their insulin resistance so that you can regain your energy, regain the body that you thought you lost forever. And we do it naturally. So welcome in. Good morning, Terry. Good morning. You guys, this is a really, really interesting conversation. So one of you, who shall remain nameless, Julie, we were talking yesterday a little bit about just whatever. We were customizing supplementation. This is a big piece of what I do with you guys. So if you don't know that, I'll do phone consultations. I will customize a cart for you, etc. Let's make sure that you're taking things that you need and not spending money on things that you don't need. So my name is Kirsten Liebelt. I turned back my own insulin resistance. I started in my upper 40s. So everybody has hope today. Everybody has hope. I was a very late bloomer on getting my shiz together. Seriously. Good morning, Magda. Good morning. My dad was type 2 diabetic. He died of type 2 at 63. He was insulin dependent, and being Italian, I really, really did just believe that this was my destiny. That type 2 and obesity was my destiny. And so when I slid into my 50s, I was a 2X in size. I always put that up there for the TikTok people because that is helpful that you can see that. And that's where I was. And I was a hot mess express because insulin is a hormone. It turns all your other hormones upside down. I was literally such a mess, you guys. Anyway, enough of that. And through targeting my supplementation specifically for insulin resistance and being able to trade out my food ingredients, I've been able to be the only person in my family that's avoided type 2 diabetes. I'm the only person that's not on any meds in my immediate family, and I'm 60. My dad was type 2, dead at 63. My mother ended up with type 3. We talked about that yesterday. Alzheimer's, dead at 94, but the last 5 years of her life had to be taken care of by myself and my sister. So turning back around insulin resistance is literally, in my opinion, it is the most important topic that we can have. Everything else is kind of peripheral. Don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously, if you have a terminal diagnosis, but sometimes those come from the very base of insulin resistance. I mean, pancreatic what? I'm just saying, right? Your pancreas releases insulin. These are the things that we would talk about. That's why I get very passionate about talking about a silly orange pixie stick that tastes like candy, but it targets your visceral fat. And don't you understand that that's what you need to have happen? So today what I want to do is I want to actually address Maria Emmerich. Do you guys know who Maria Emmerich is? First of all, if you're on the replay, let me know you're on the replay and where you're coming in from. I would love to know. Second of all, Monday in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, we start our 24th 5-day, it's free, 5-day insulin resistance reset challenge. So get in the group and we will be there. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Maria Emmerich, E-M-M-E-R-I-C-H is her name. And she is who taught me how to still be a foodie. Listen up, you guys. You do not have to hate your life in order to turn back your insulin resistance. That's the old school way of doing things, where you just had to hate everything you ate, like a rice cake, and just suck it up, buttercup, and just pretend like you enjoy it. This tastes great. This styrofoam is amazing. You don't have to do that anymore. Now you get to eat real food, nourish your hormones, nourish your body, feel full and satiated for long periods of time. And she taught me how to change out my ingredients. Well, one of the things that she did was she wrote an article called The Fiber Myth. This is a while ago. And I remember reading that and thinking, what? That can't be true. Everything, I swear, everything that came to me, I'm like, that can't be true. Because my mother had a jar of Metamucil in her house. My mother had a thing of Tums. I mean, she took Tums like they were candy. Well, if we are dealing with symptoms, we have to look at the root cause. So this information today, I think is going to really help you. If nothing else, it's going to like get your wheels turning as to what you have been told to believe, who you've been told to believe it by, why they told you to believe it, and how it has been proliferated all of these decades. And it's not helping you, it's harming you. All right, let's get into it. Woohoo! I really like this one. I love things that really do call out what they've been doing. So, the fiber myth. This is so good. The idea that high fiber intake is essential for good health largely grew out of mid-20th century nutrition science. Public health campaigns and food industry marketing, here's where it came from and what drove it. Are you interested in this? By the way, if you've never seen me before, put a 1 in the comments. I'd like to know who's literally never seen any of my content. We've been doing this show a little over a year. The origins are the African fiber hypothesis. The myth really took off in the 1970s due to Dr. Dennis Burkitt, a British surgeon who worked in Africa. He observed that rural Africans eating traditional high-fiber diets had lower rates of colon cancer, diverticulitis, and other Western diseases. He concluded that fiber intake was the key difference, not accounting for the fact that their diets were also low in processed sugars, refined carbs, and industrial seed oils. Once the fiber is good caught on, took hold, the cereal and grain industries, especially in the United States, just jumped right on it. You guys, this is literally how our food pyramid became. Like, this is unbelievable. So the marketing goal was, of course, to sell more healthy, high fiber products like bran cereals, fiber bars, whole wheat breads, and processed grains. You tracking? Result, they position these foods as essential for heart health, regularity, and disease prevention. Fiber was added to everything from snack bars to drinks, all under the heart healthy and digestive health labels. So this is why, never mind, I won't go there yet. This is what they were trying to accomplish. Public health narrative, prevent colon cancer, heart disease, and obesity by pushing fiber. We're just going to push fiber. Corporate profit motive, rebrand cheap grains as healthy and necessary, giving processed foods a health halo. The pharmaceutical angle, sell fiber supplements, Metamucil, Benefiber, and laxatives as a part of daily wellness. The problem, the source of the fiber shifted from natural foods like cooked vegetables and fermented fibers to ultra-processed grain products and synthetic fibers that can be irritating, bloating, and even inflammatory, especially for people with gut issues, autoimmune diseases, or what do we talk about every single day? Insulin resistance. Insulin resistance. Okay. So let's dive into this a little tiny bit and help you out. So have you been told to eat more fiber to fix your gut? What if the advice is actually making things worse, especially if you're dealing with insulin resistance? Bum, bum, bum. This is just like riveting information. You guys, it actually is really kind of pretty interesting. So hold on just a second. All right. So I've had a couple of different customers that have had a couple of different results. And, when I first heard this information way back from Maria Emmerich, again, I was like, this can't be true. Like, we've been told that the food pyramid looks like this and that fiber is this and la, 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 la. And the truth be told is that I've had to spend time like undoing and turning things upside down and extracting from the information that we've been given all of this time. And no more important than somebody who is insulin resistant. Because you have to ask yourself, you just pause for 2 seconds in your life, in your day, in your weekend coming up, just pause and ask yourself, is the advice that I'm getting from the medical community getting me off of medication, making me feel better, And I'm having, therefore, less side effects, better sleep, more energy. And you answer that question because I can't answer it for you. Okay? Come on in from the balcony on TikTok. Come on in. I really appreciate when you guys come in. I really, really do. So I had one customer with extreme constipation, and I had another customer with chronic diarrhea from a short gut syndrome, right? If anybody out there has short gut syndrome. And guess what? They both found a relief with the same gut support without loading up on fiber or over-the-counter meds. Because constipation and diarrhea are the same, it's the same coin, two different sides of the same coin. Okay? Very, very interesting. So we're told to have 25 to 38 grams of fiber every day. The assumption is more fiber, better digestion. But what if we're not told? But what we're not told is that most Americans are getting that fiber from grains, cereals, processed bars, raw veggies, foods that can be hard on an already damaged gut. What's actually causing constipation in the standard American diet? Oh, I just know you're going to be so shocked by this. Not. Ultra-processed foods that are low in real nutrition. High sugar intake inflaming the gut lining. Poor hydration and low healthy fats. Sedentary lifestyles. Disrupted gut bacteria from years of medications and food chemicals. So if you know, and you probably already do in your heart, like if you know you need to get your gut back on track, you need to recalibrate your gut, stick around. Just track with me for a minute, because I'll give you some practical ways that you could actually start taking care of your gut better. When we start removing these foods and supporting the gut, especially through targeted supplements and healing fats, the body begins to work with us again. Bloating goes down, cravings reduce, energy returns, and bathroom habits begin to normalize. That's amazing. So what about over-the-counter constipation meds? Well, this is the deal. Stimulant, laxatives, fiber powders. This is including both laxatives and fiber powders. So pay attention. What we've been told to add to our daily diet, being a container of fiber. This is I want to make sure I say the right word that's coming out of my brain. It's bad information. It's bad information. It's not helpful information. So stimulant laxatives are in the same category of fiber powders and stool softeners, and they might give short-term relief, but long-term, this is what happens. They make the gut dependent. They worsen inflammation. They disrupt mineral balance. I just did a reel yesterday, on the number one mineral that women need. Magnesium. You know, we did that magnesium launch in March. Amazing. Amazing and great testimonies. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Tal. I really do. And they don't heal the root cause. So you don't, like, if you're living on antacids, you're living on stool softeners, you're band-aiding your world, and it's not long-term. That Band-Aid will come off at some point. It will fail. So you have to get root cause. That's what we talk about all the time here. Insulin resistance, let's take the axe to the root of the tree and deal with the root cause so that you can learn how to fish and you can function forever. Forever. Like, you want to function and go higher in function, not decrease in function. In my 50s, I went 10x my function and avoided medication. And I did it all with supplementation and food. All right. The big question, are constipation and diarrhea both the result of a messed up gut? Yes. They are two sides of the same coin, an inflamed, imbalanced, and overwhelmed gut. Inflammation can either slow your digestion to a crawl. Come on, we know what that's like. When you have impacted waste in your body, like, whoa, right? Slows it to a crawl, or it makes the body push things through too fast. Diarrhea. So they're both the same, two sides of the exact same coin. When you calm the inflammation, think about that. When you calm the inflammation, when you can seal up the gut lining and restore the gut flora, either issue can resolve. Either one. So the person who I have that has short gut, she found relief with the gut reset protocol that I talk about. She found very quick relief. She was shocked. For years, I've been running to the bathroom with diarrhea. On the other hand, another customer who has had constipation for years had been using over-the-counter aids. I believe for years. I don't want to misspeak that. I think it was years. Let's pretend it was only for months. Still, like, does it really matter if you're dependent? If your body is dependent on an over-the-counter aid because you can't figure it out? That actually resolved for her within days. She's like, holy cannoli. So why? Because both cases were signs of inflamed, disrupted gut. And you guys, insulin resistance is creating that inflamed, disruptive gut. And that leaky gut, that's what insulin resistance is doing to your body. And when you're spilling out nutrients, you're spilling them over the side. Like, this is not beneficial for you to be able to actually resolve any discomforts or frustrations inside of your body. The trajectory of your body going towards, let's say, type 2 or heart disease or whatever, you need those nutrients, those micronutrients that you are spilling. You need them to regulate your body. It's like you have to have the wires properly connected inside of an electrical grid for your car to run, for the GPS screen to come up, for the video player behind you to play for your grandbabies. You have to have the wires working. And if your wires are frayed and disconnected, they have to be put back together. Okay? That's what micronutrients do when you're talking about trace minerals. And this is literally what I talk about all day, every day, because I'm always talking to you about insulin resistance. No Band-Aid, no fiber Band-Aid patch to your life. Stop it. Let's get to the cellular conversation. We need to talk cellular. We need to talk gut, way, way, way inside, like inflammation and disruption in your gut so that you can produce GLP-1 like a normal person, because GLP-1 is a hormone, so that you can properly regulate your insulin, properly regulate your blood glucose. Like, let's get under it once and for all. But instead, what they did was they said, hey, have this granola bar. We're going to call it a granola bar. We're not going to call it candy. No, no, no. We're going to call it granola, and we're going to tell you how much fiber is in it. Fiber is your answer. And it was a total lie from the very beginning. It was based on a premise that literally didn't even have clinical studies that I'm aware of. No clinical studies. They just make crap up. Sorry, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but it really ticks me off. Stop it. Stop changing society. We are fatter than we have ever been. We are sicker than we have ever been. We are more medicated than we have ever been. We have to pause for half a second. Why? Why? Why do we hold so tightly to the Today Show morning news when they tell us the latest information from our medical community that is literally taking down a road of obesity, sickness, disease, and meds? Like, why do we listen to all of that trash? Why do we do that instead of doing our own research? They're only repeating what they're told to repeat so that we can be like, who I was talking to yesterday, she brought up a good point. And I noticed this because, okay, I don't watch normal TV. Like, I'm sure a lot of you don't. We don't anymore, right? We watch subscriptions and stuff. But every now and then I'll be like either in my gym or I am in a hotel. And so maybe more normal TV is on and they're running ads. The ads for the pharmaceutical companies are nauseating. It's constant. It's constant. Nobody is talking to us about actual health. The noise that we're hearing from the world, nobody's telling us how to actually root cause fix anything. Nobody's telling us how to better our life, how to function at a higher level so that we can actually live in a technicolor world and enjoy our grandbabies and make memories. Nobody's telling us like an actual real way to avoid Alzheimer's. Nobody is telling it. Like, we have to go to the other people. You can't get it from your news organizations. You can't get it from the ads on your commercials. You can't get it from your morning whatever that's on cable TV or whatever. You can't get it from anywhere like that. It doesn't exist. I really don't believe that it exists. And maybe I'm just super clouded, but you have to go to other places. Like when I started to look up things with Maria Emmerich or Dr. Ken Berry or Dr. Ben Bickman, or there are a lot of people out there who do have a voice. And they've had to fight for it, right? And sometimes they have to change their wording because they'll get censored. That's how bad this is. That's how much they have clouded your ability to hear anything that will actually help you from the inside out. Okay? It's very, very frustrating. So what if you are somebody that doesn't have a gallbladder? You are not broken. And this is really, really important for you to understand. Now, I have my own opinion based on my daughter's experience of having gallstones. And of course, take out your gallbladder. She was 8 months pregnant. She's like, go away. Just see you, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I am not having my gallbladder removed. And what we found out was that oftentimes high levels of different hormones, insulin, estrogen, cortisol, can cause gallstones, blah, blah, blah. So she immediately took on like supplementation protocol that I talked to you guys about. I would never recommend it to you if I wasn't able to recommend it to my daughter. And my daughter turned back her own gallbladder issue. And now she knows how to regulate it. She knows how to fish. She's 33. Like, this is amazing, right? She doesn't have to go down this road of surgeries and anesthesia and medications and, pre-op visits and post-op and physical therapy. She doesn't have to go down this road, which all just is in my brain. This is because of my own personal experience. This was my dad's life. Oh, there's another pre-op. Oh, there's another operation. Oh, there's another ICU. Oh, there's another medication. Oh, there's another lazy Susan filled. Oh, there's another whatever it was constant open heart surgery and quadruple bypass and kidney dialysis. And it was just appointment after appointment after appointment. And that is literally the trajectory that they will take you on if you will allow them to. But it is your responsibility to say no more. And the most beneficial reason why you can and should do that is because insulin resistance is not a terminal diagnosis. So stop treating it like it is, and you have to take advice only from the medical system. I am not a doctor. I say that to you guys every single day. I am just an Italian girl who figured this out, and I went, I am done. And I could sit on here for a couple of hours today, and I won't. We're almost done here. I could sit on here for a couple of hours, and I could tell you all the different connections and the entire river that it took me to get here, etc. But my results will just have to speak for themselves. They just will. 2X at 50, large at 60, no meds, no type 2 in sight, never will. Turn back my insulin resistance. I'm more metabolically flexible than I have ever been. My body functions. I wake up and I don't ache. I have energy. I know how to target all of my supplements. I can teach it to you too. Everything I do, nothing I do is hard. Nothing I do is mountainous. Nothing I do is rocket science. I don't have a 50-step system where if you do not follow my 50-step program, you're just never going to get anywhere. No, actually, that's not true. Do you know that I have people in my world that actually, they have actually never been a part of my targeted supplementation system, and they've still lost 25 pounds or they've lost whatever because of just going, oh, that's information I needed for my heart. But then there are many of you that you're like, I actually need to recalibrate my gut. I actually need to accelerate this process.
I'm really tired of not having results or relief. And you want to accelerate. Well, that would be me. That would be me. I've learned, like in business, that if somebody offers me an opportunity to go faster, that's just me. I'm going to go faster. Because I had already spent, by the time I started this journey, I was 50. So let's say I spent 3 decades miserable, 30 years miserable. I was ready to go faster. I was ready to accelerate. I was ready. And so therefore, I took the initiative to do a little bit of research, and I took the initiative to ingest understanding, right? So this whole myth thing is really important. So there's a lot of confusion out there for those who have had their gallbladder removed. Many are told to eat low fat and up the fiber. But it's exactly the wrong move. This is a tough one for a lot of people because this is a widespread conversation. It's a widespread issue. Gallbladder surgeries, if you're a doctor who removes gallbladders, you've probably made a lot of money. Instead, what they need is an anti-inflammatory support. They need help digesting fats through proper enzymes or bitters. And they need a diet that stabilizes insulin, supports liver function, and promotes gentle detox. Less fiber bulk, more nourishing and gut calming foods. Isn't that interesting, you guys? So let me give you something practical then, okay? We've talked about kind of liver stuff before, and we've talked about, how to best help. And this is a conversation I was having with somebody yesterday. And I was basically saying she needed to deal with her sugars, her liver. Was it really just her sugars and liver, maybe? I do believe so, is what we were mainly talking about. And so I always tell people the glucose product is really very much what you want to add to your cart when it comes to bringing down your sugars and your insulin. That's a no-brainer. You have to reverse what got you into the pickle to begin with, which is your insulin resistance. You have to bring down your insulin. You have to stop the flooding of sugar and insulin in your body, creating such large amounts of inflammation, creating an environment where you'll never burn a pound of fat again. Because if your insulin is high, you can't burn fat. But your liver is really the beginning of the whole digestive conversation. Well, I mean, everything starts in your mouth and what you're eating, but your liver is really taking the brunt of everything. And especially if you don't have a gallbladder, then your liver is working overtime. Now, we talked the other day about how your liver can regenerate. It's one of the only things that can in your body until it's too late. So you want to take care of your liver. And when it comes to your gut, bringing down that inflammation and helping your leaky gut kind of like to seal up the lining of your gut, this is the beginning of a healing journey for your body. So I'm just going to be really honest, like don't take that lightly. Maybe the rest of 2025 is you dealing with your gut. Just like I've said before, maybe some of you it's sleep. And you need to take the year to really this is the year I dial in my sleep. This is the year and slowly but surely you're going to add things to your ladder of success for your own body. And you'll be like, wow, I'm in a completely different place 12 months from now. So if you're looking for help with your gut, the number one thing that I can recommend for you, the number one would be the gut primer. And you've heard me talk about it before. And the reason why is because, did you hear what they said? Especially if you don't have a gallbladder, you need digestive enzymes. Okay. Because what your gallbladder did do, and even if you have a gallbladder, but you have digestive issues, just be elastic in your thinking just a little bit. So your digestive enzymes, so your gallbladder is your liver puts bile into your gallbladder to break down those fats and everything. So when you don't have a gallbladder to break things down because you're not collecting bile, you need to love your liver even more, right? So this alone has the digestive enzymes that you're needing. And then it said fermented foods. Well, it has the fermented greens that you're needing. Then it said bitters. Well, back to the fermented foods and the alkaline spices. It has things in here to actually keep your gut. This is not just a greens product. I know that you can get a greens product here and there and everywhere, Costco and a Facebook ad, and everybody's got their little Amazon find and the little container that starts with a B. Everybody's got that going, and I get it. I'm not against greens. I have my own organic greens in my line that my husband loves. He actually loves to mix that with this because he's just that kind of guy. And he loves that flavor. But my point being that I understand everybody's doing that, but a gut primer is a completely different level of understanding what it can do for your gut. And if you need to recalibrate your gut because you're believing the fiber myth, and you're thinking that this has 4 grams of fiber, okay? So this is not a high fiber. This is not. It's not the point of it. It's not. And so get that. Think about that. Somebody who has severe constipation and is taking over-the-counter aids, and in 3 days, this fixes that. But wait a minute, that wasn't 25 grams of fiber. Why would that happen? Well, because when you have pre and postbiotics, you're setting up your gut. When you have the digestive enzymes to help you break down your foods properly, the fermented greens are very gentle. They soak into your system. They're very available into your body, but then they also bring down that inflammation the way that you need that to happen. If you have an angry gut, that is absolutely something to pay attention to, because then you will absorb the nutrients from the food that you eat. Then you will absorb the nutrients from the supplements that you're taking. Then when you're taking the trio, the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity, those trace minerals get into your body. That's why a lot of people, and I talked about this yesterday about the total body reset. That's why everybody combines everything, because it is synergistically all goes together. But I need you to understand in different stages what is going to help you for what reason. I'm so convinced that if you understand why you're doing something, then you will stick with it to get the results that you need. I mean, don't be foolish. You probably aren't going to fix your gut overnight, but you can fix your gut. And then you can stay with it and stay healed and stay healthy, right? I'm just telling you, this is for real. So the gut primer and the probiotic, because what did it say? You need to repopulate your microbiome. You need to repopulate. So for anybody who is having, you've been thinking fiber is your issue. So you're adding fiber into your diet, but your digestion seems to be getting worse. Your inflammation is not getting better. It's actually getting worse. And it's super frustrating. I'm just here to tell you that what if everything that you've been taught about your gut is wrong? What if this was just another lane that we went down because of somebody's thought process gone awry? And the last thing that I'll say is that I love it when I hear people talk about they'll talk about babies and the digestion on babies. There is no fiber in breast milk. And a human can live on breast milk for 2 years. Well, they probably wouldn't live on just breast milk 2 years straight. They wouldn't. But 6 months to a year, depending upon the mother and her thought processes. But it's liquid gold and it doesn't have fiber. Our digestion system was not designed to need that. But back in the 70s, they decided to tell us that that's what it was supposed to look like. So here we are bulking up our stool with a lot of processed food that has fiber added to it, or we are bulking up our stool with fiber that they're telling us to buy, Benefiber, Metamucil, and we're supposed to get our guts dependent upon their products when we actually need to bring down our inflammation and begin to heal our gut. And this is the connection to insulin resistance is stunning, because your gut makes the GLP-1 hormone. Your gut is actually regulating so many parts of your universe. And when you take care of your liver, when you take care of your liver governs the glucose in your blood, and your liver governs your hormones. Insulin, cortisol, GLP-1, ghrelin, leptin. These are all hormones. Stress, energy, fullness, cravings, all of this. Your gut, your liver. I hope you're tracking. So if you need anything, you can always reach out to me and say you'd like to know about the gut reset protocol. That is the gut primer and the probiotic. If you have other pieces of your puzzle that you're needing help with, let me know. Let me customize something for you so that you don't just grab and think and throw spaghetti at a wall. Don't do that. I will actually walk journey with you. Okay, I will walk the journey with you to get the results that you're looking to get. So if you want something customized, let me know. I'll customize that cart for you. If you have questions, let me know. My contact information is everywhere. It's not hard to find me or to find my messenger or to find my Instagram inbox or to put gut reset in the comments of Facebook because it'll stay there. Something like that. Where can you buy the gut primer? You can buy that through me. So what I will do is I'm going to just screenshot that cam and I'll send you a message when I'm off of here. I'll send you the link for that. But this has been such a game changer for so many people. And I don't say that lightly. I actually didn't know that the testimonies that I would receive were coming. I didn't know. I thought this was going to be just a general, I was very naive in my thought process. I'm not going to lie. Even though I've been in this like arena of like health and wellness for quite a few years now, I just didn't maybe understand how far reaching a gut primer would be for the people who have serious digestive issues. And so they took me by surprise, but they also made me very much smile. Everybody wants to get rid of bloating. That's a given, right? You're welcome. Everybody wants to get rid of bloating. Before I jump off, let me show you one picture. I'll show you one picture. This is my daughter last fall. And she was having she ate really poorly for the weekend. This is my daughter who had the gallbladder issues, the gallstones. And she was like, just had a weekend, a little bit of a binge, right? She's 33 years old. And she, whatever, she's like, I knew better, but I did it anyway. And when she went to bed that night, she was very, very bloated and her stomach was very much sticking out. And she was like, I got to fix this, right? So here is a picture of her. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Here we go. This is a picture of her the night before she went to bed. Here's a picture of her belly right here, obviously. And she said, you know what? I know that I usually take the gut primer at the beginning of my day because that's what they say. Prime your gut at the beginning of your day. She said, but I saw an influencer take something at night. I'm going to try it. And overnight, that's what happened to her belly overnight. Okay. So I'm just telling you, like, everybody does want to deal with their bloating. And I get that because that is a symptom. That is a sign of something not right. I get that. But some of the deeper issues have really surprised me. So if you don't have a gallbladder, if you have short gut syndrome, if you are relying on over-the-counter aids, and you know that you've got to get your gut figured out, I'm your girl. I am so your person. And then I teach in the group. And this is where we'll end today because I'm going to promote Monday the 5-day insulin resistant reset challenge inside of the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Every month we do a free challenge so that you can have a track every month to run on, so that you can have a blueprint, so that you can have a place to go, to be encouraged, to be supported, to ask questions. And so we're going to start that on Monday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I will then teach you food. I'll teach you the ingredient trade outs and have you look at my pantry and my refrigerator. And the recipe for next week is a flourless chocolate lava cake. And it is keto and it is amazing. I made it this week and my husband's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm like, I know. So anyway, there you go. Yeah, see you later, Terry. See you later. Have such a great weekend. I'll be back here at Monday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Please come back and join. Set an alarm for the challenge inside of the group. 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come on, you guys. Don't you know that Facebook notifications are not the best way to get notified for anything inside of groups? You have to set your own alarm. What am I missing? Does the gut primer help if you are on a GLP-1? Absolutely. Yeah, especially if you're on a GLP-1. Yeah, because medications are messing with your gut. And I've had a lot of customers who have not appreciated the constipation side effect of the GLP-1 injections. So I do understand that can slow the impacted waste moving through your body. So yes, it can very much help with that. So if you want me to, I can send you like a link, or you can reach out to me. Either way is great. But I will tell you that it's a game changer for a lot of people. All right. Have the best weekend ever, you guys. I'm going to be taking in a business conference with some local leaders. I'm very excited. Doing some business stuff this weekend. Then I'll be back on Monday at 11. So see you later. Have a good day.